Hi, Scorpio. Welcome. For those of you who don't know, I've just been wondering where I've been. My younger brother passed suddenly over New Year's. We were very close. He was actually my best friend. And I have been in some deep suffering, some deep grief for the past 3 weeks. And now, alhamdulillah, I am feeling a bit better. And I have moved past denial and grief, sorrow, into anger, which I think is just perfect for us to talk about these last few days of January, but really from mid-Jan to mid-Feb, all the way actually to the end of Feb, is a very specific energy for you guys. And we're going to get into it now. I'm not actually going to break this video. It's your general and your extended in one. We're going to go all the way through. So welcome to one of our old school, longer form videos. I hope you like it. I have missed you terribly. And just doing the notes for this video made me laugh several times. You guys just have an amazing energy. It's always nice. It's always nice to connect with your energy is what I'm trying to say. All right, so let's get started. Now, this video, this reading, I'm starting to name the readings again. This reading is called The Pressurized Past. Keep that in mind as I give you some technical points. Scorpio, looking deeply into February 24, first let me give you some dates and relate them, Scorpio rising, to your 4th house. It's 4th house madness right now. And let me explain to you why. Pluto has moved into Aquarius, which is Scorpio rising, your 4th house. Pluto will remain in Aquarius until 2043. The Sun has moved into Aquarius and will remain there until the 18th of February. Mercury will move into, or has moved, will move into Aquarius on February 5th. Mars will move into Aquarius on February 13th, and it will be joined there by Venus, which will move into Aquarius on the 16th. So what does this mean? It means that it's time to take care and be considerate. Doesn't matter if it's family, friends, romantic partner. It's time to admit to yourself that the games and the machinations of past romance or whatever situation you were in where you played with your feelings, where you put your feelings last, it's time to let go of the hurt of the choices you've made and the responsibility you've taken for those choices. Nobody is saying that those things didn't happen. I'm not even saying they weren't your fault. I'm saying it doesn't matter anymore. Especially if you feel like it was your fault. It just doesn't matter anymore. Now it's time to take care, to settle down, to see the bright side of life and finally change your mind about what makes life what it is. I think that there were points where you thought it was all about love, other points where you must have felt like it was all about romance. Maybe you thought it was all about kids. Maybe you thought it was all about family. Maybe you thought it was all about personal freedom. But now, by the end of February, it becomes so clear to you that it's really just about taking care of everyone. Family, friends, loved ones, romantic partners, neighbors, person on the street. Your consideration has shifted with Pluto moving into Aquarius. You feel, just as you always have, deeply. You feel. But there is a sunniness to your disposition now, an optimism that I think a lot of people will find refreshing, but also confusing. In February, you change your mind and your mood. Victory, once defined by all the hard work you could do and all the connections you could muster, now becomes something easy, something handed to you, something that in fact gets easier and easier as you become more and more settled and considerate. It is a time where many of you will think about or will take the first steps toward getting married. That's a big one right now. Whatever your personal version is of emotional security, that's what you will pursue now. And unapologetically, you're not explaining yourself to anyone. And your taste obviously then changes, because we go from caring about looks and charm and all the things that we love in high school to caring about emotional, financial, physical stability, security, protection. And you need it. Your need for that security is so deep right now. You need it very much. You need someone, something to tell you finally that everything is going to be okay and you can proceed in a relaxed way, knowing that success and security comes to you, inshallah. You need it for how you are set up as a person, and you probably needed it for so long. And these past 15 years, it was like, oh, I don't know, am I ever gonna get it? Like, why is this taking so long? Why am I just floundering around? Remember in Devil's Advocate, where the wife can't figure out how to decorate the apartment? It's actually purposefully done to her to make her lose her mind and make her feel out of place. And she says, I feel like I'm just drifting around in there. I don't remember a time since I was 13 that I didn't have a job, or 2. And now I just feel like I'm floating around in there. You have been drifting around for 15 years, trying to figure out where to land and if it was safe and if there would be a roof over your head. This is all emotionally now that we're talking. For some of you, this may have actually been physical as well. The houselessness is there. And the houselessness doesn't necessarily imply that you didn't have a house, just that you didn't feel comfortable in any home. Maybe you were living with your parents, maybe you were living with a significant other, but it just never felt like it was yours. You've been moving around, you've been an emotional nomad. That pressurized past. It's like, we can't do this anymore. We need some peace. We need some calm. We need you to stop moving around. We need you to put down some roots, please. We would like to spend until 2043 being nice and fixed the way we like it. Because this nomad life for a fixed sign as sensitive as you, fixed water, has not liked this. This has not been pleasant. But it gets safe, secure, stable now. Of course, that's going to make a huge impact on your personality. So much of that we find to be frightening or offensive about Scorpios is a defense mechanism. It happens when you don't feel safe. It happens when you're not happy. Right? But what happens, and how do you react, and how do you feel when things line up and you can sign the papers and it now belongs to you. Can you feel the calm wash over yourself? There's no more running from place to place anymore. You don't have to. Now you can, instead of setting up camp, you start building a foundation. A real one, a strong one. So, those are the transits. Now let's talk about what else is going on. Hold up. I have a feeling that someone is going to call me right in the middle of this and jack my whole shit up. So, okay, here we go. Now, on the 17th, it is possible to be on your sexiest, most charming vibe. Like you, just remember the 17th. We want to be dressed like we know we're going out later that night. We want to do our makeup and fucking spray that shit down. So it lasts from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. We don't care what day of the week it is. On the 17th, your hair is done. Your nails are done. Fuck if you have a fucking bullshit made up fucking Valentine nonsense fucking feeding you high fructose corn syrup. No, I don't care. It's not about that. Your Valentine's Day is the 17th. Okay? That's when you step into the light and all the moths come running. All of them. All of them. Okay? Now this attraction, it's defined by something bold. It's confidence. That person's confident. You're confident. You're just like, there's an ease to that kind of boldness when you just know. You know what I mean? You're not vying for anybody's affection or attention. You're not even looking for it. You just know you deserve it. And it's the right foot to start off on. It's the right way to build a foundation with anyone. To never let them have any misconceptions about what you need from them emotionally. The person who is the least emotionally needy wins. Right? That was the card at the bottom of the deck. And now it's coming up upside down. So let's look at it. The person that comes into your life next, now that Pluto is moved, or even if you're already with someone, the person you're with or will be with evolves into somebody who will listen. Much to the chagrin of whoever you used to be with, who did not listen and didn't seem to give a fuck when you were talking. Now you could go into like a shame spiral and be like, oh my God, I was obsessed with that guy for no reason. Or obsessed with that person for no reason. And they didn't listen. You're right. And when they wanted to, they just blew everything up and walked away. You're so right. We could go down that road. But for what? We don't want to play with ourselves like that. Fine. It happened. It happened. Good that it happened. Good that they treated you like that. Good that you felt that way. So you know now what to never do again. Okay? The past partner, though, if there is someone from your past, look at this. This is very important, Scorpio. If there is someone from your past that is lingering in your mind, they will, without ever having to show up, without ever having to do anything, just by you being the way you are right now, you will ruin the next thing. And it does not guarantee that the man he's gonna come back anyway. That's not how that works. You ruining something new for a man you already had, for a person you already had, it makes you look ridiculous. And this is ridiculous. So the next person has to be someone who listens to you instead of imposing what they want on the face they like. Okay? If your partner is lingering in your heart and mind, in February it becomes a problem even if you're not associated with anyone else. Okay? It will become an issue if somebody lingers in your heart and mind. And I think that gives you some scope of your strength and your intelligence and what you bring, right? You are able to linger in the hearts of others. I think that's a more important point to make. You show a boldness that is trusted and appreciated. And for this new person coming in who understands you and your pain, it will take some bravery to take part in that. It's not easy to go out in the world, right? It's very difficult. It's very difficult. Now, and it gets more difficult more quickly, and the less you do about it, the worse it's going to get. And then, you have some choices to make again between how slow and how fast you want it to go. Now, in terms of career, things are murky and at a standstill. And I actually don't think it's work that's responsible for this. I think this is simply you needing more time with your family.